Hey, hello everyone. So today we gonna start a new project in which we will hit a API, we'll create a API, we'll create a data layer, and we'll create uh, unit test cases for it, uh, mm, and many more things. How the actual generic API used to create and all everything, we will have it in this project. So here we have I had created this project before. uh, I just have this project so that I can show you how our app gonna look like. So let me run this app. Okay, so we have that our famous IMDb APIs from mm, through which we will get the movies description, detail, title, and everything. Here we have the search bar for searching of particular movies. Our list will change accordingly. Then when you click on this button, you will go inside that. It will show you the details of the movie and all and everything, and your co-stars who are there in that movie, the IMDb ratings and all everything will be there. And if you're not able to watch that movie as video is not available, then you can click here and you can redirect to YouTube to watch that trailer of that movie. If you click this like button, then uh, those movies are added in your favorites, and when you came back you will see these are your favorites. So let's get started. uh, so I'll create a new project. We will have this project to show the sample. Delete it. um, let's have a new project. mm, we will name this as TMDB test, and wait. Okay, yeah, cancel. For storage, we will have a local storage as swift data. Yeah, we will create here. Okay, so as you can see, our project, we just created our project. I will keep it here. So before starting, we will start our project. I'll request you to kindly subscribe my channel and do support me. It will help me a lot, and it will motivate me to give latest and updated code which we are using in our iOS app for the production level wise. And this whole project video gonna be bit longer, as but I will try to make it in different parts so that you are able to understand how the the whole projects look like, and at the same time it will be, you will not feel that boring while watching these videos and all. So let's get started. So first I'll remove all those things. I don't want actually these things, so better to remove all. Okay, no need of these functions. Okay, we will create our data layer by our own. For now, just have it as vstack. You can have it text as we'll remove this. Nothing model context. Okay, and this schema we have to remove. We will not inject it here. We will remove this model container. We will create our own model container. These methods, we didn't require that. We will remove this. Okay, I guess we already completed that much. Unit test cases, launch screen. Okay, fine. Let's build our app first so that if there is any error while deleting and all. No. So as there is no error, so means we are good to start our project. So before starting our project, what are the things which we require for our TMDB? So we require our base URL, image URL, and API key. So I already created an account there and I generated my API key for it. So I will use the same API key. So let me I will also show you how to make your API key private so that it can't be used by anyone else, or when, or you can say someone uh, from the outside the organization if they wanna attack. So first, what we will do, we'll create a mod file common. Inside our common, the common file will have our network, then it will have Swift data for data layer, and it will have our network model. Okay, now in network we have to keep our APIs right. API design with protocol, with the help of async await, we will design our protocol. So first of all, what we need is our API key. So we'll create a new file, swift file, command n swift file that we will create. API config file we will create and enter, and nothing much. Copy paste, but as I didn't have created a config file so that I can keep my API key private or hidden, I will remove this, and instead of that we will use our API key. And this API key I can't show you, so as that is my own private API key which I have. I will update it later on, and when you create your own API key you can have it here. In upcoming videos I will copy paste my original API key here so that I can run the API successfully. Now after this, now we have to create our protocol and the endpoints. So first we will create our endpoints, how our endpoints protocol gonna look like. So command n, enter endpoint protocol endpoint. Nowadays we are getting lot of suggestions, that's good, but associated type response, the response which we are getting after hitting the API, that will be this response. Then there we will have a enum of method or string with cases. Yeah, let's define these cases also. We will have it as get then case for put. Delete. Oh, sorry. has okay. Our method is already defined here. We will have parameters. We can have it as better to have it as query parameter. It looks query item. Query items. It will have, and this query item will have a UI URL query items, URL query items. Yeah, it's have URL query item is URL query item type with query items. Now, after having an endpoint protocol, now our main focus will be to design our protocol. So it will be have of command n suppose we can make it as network client protocol. Okay, now here we will define our protocol, which we can have it in our which we can use it for our network layer and mock services both. That will be a function of you can have it as fetch data, or you can have it as execute and this execute is of type T, but which will conform to what? It will conform to our endpoint. Okay, the endpoint which we created, and then it will have the endpoint of E and with async T dot response. Sorry, it's T. So T dot response, it will have an endpoint, and this endpoint will have what? Let's jump to it. Jump there. it will conform to the entire E. Okay, and as a parameter with path, and then this path, the method which you're gonna have, and the query parameters which we have, and the return type is of response of decodable. Okay, so t dot response. Now we are returning this response. After having this, now we will design our network manager, means our network client. Command N, then our network client. Enter. Okay, now here we will have our class network client, which is conformed to what? Our network protocol, client protocol. And soon you confirm this to the network client protocol. Now you want this function to be a part of it, right? So just apply that. Here you will get the function. Both are same. Here you can see you didn't define t here as endpoint, so you are defining it t, what type of t is. So here you are saying it as endpoint. It's a type of a protocol of conforming to the endpoint. Okay, you can do it in both ways, either this or you can remove it from here and you can define it to endpoint. Both are totally correct. Now what we have to do? Now we have to check our URL and the methods and all and everything. So now coming upon the function, this function, the body of the function, first we have to set our URL. So our URL will have of var. Let me write the code, then I will explain you. In this string, we didn't want that. We will want what? We will want our API key plus our API key base URL. So first we'll have our API configure dot base URL concatenating with our endpoint dot path. No need to force and wrap it, as it is not required. Then you can have your item as endpoint dot query items and in this items you can append your API key, value as API key. Yes. So your API key is now appended here, the API key which you have, and then from there you will have your correct. Then nothing much, you will have your guardlet URL. Now your URL you have to check. As of now you have to throw this error, network error, as invalid URL. You are getting this error because you have to create a enum for it that we will create later on. Before decoding it, we have to remove all the underscores from our JSON what we are getting. So what we will do here is we'll create a method as private let decoder of JSON. Okay, looking fine. And this JSON we will have as let d equals to JSON decoder, and then d dot key decoding. Okay, decodings strategy dot snake is okay, and then we will return this d. Fine. Sorry. Actually my health is a bit bad today, so now first we will handle all the scenarios, then after that we will create our enums for the error handlings. That will not take much time. Where request, now we will have our request as URL. After this, now we will have our request dot our HTTP method equals to our endpoint dot method dot raw value. Yes, means it either can be it can have all the values as which you are setting it as in your endpoint as get, post, put, and etc, delete and everything. Okay, after that as you created that. Now our main focus is the data what we are receiving from there. So we will have our let data as let data comma response, and this will be up of request type. Okay, we will pass our request there, and after that we have to validate our response. We will create a function as validate for this, where validate we'll have a parameter as response. We will pass our response, which we have pass our response what we are getting, and our data as data. Okay, and from there, if response is correct, then we will have a do. This will have JSON work, and then catch for error. JSON. Okay, now first we will define our function, which is nothing but our private validate. Okay, that's correct. Here we will have guard let http of response, that should be of http as a http response, else error. In error we are having throw, and you can have it as of now you can have it as throw as network error as invalid. We will define this through later on. If this is a success, means we are having a response, then we will check the status of the response, which will be of guard. It should be between 200 to 300, contain status error. Okay, HTTP correct. Either it will have that, or otherwise it will give me the error. Here we will try to read the error message. Okay, and we will have if let data equals to data, then we will have let as server error as parsing error for string of data as data comma encoding should be of dot URL8. Comma isn't empty. Yes. If everything is true, then we will have throw okay, and then we will have a throw for this scenario is also required. Throw network error as status code. Status code, error code with code, and here we will have our HTTP dot status code. Okay, this is fine. This we can comment it for now, but initializer for the condition brings in must have optional type no data. Okay, for this then we have to make it like that. Yeah, now this will work. It is asking saying for optional data, so we are having it now. As all of these created successfully, now we will have our godlet data as data, and data shouldn't be empty. Okay, and here we will have our throw network error of dot empty data. First we will create now first let's create the enum for our error handling. Network swift error, no, you can have swift error or localize error. Then you can have cases like case of bad URL, case of invalid response, case of error code, status code. Error status code, code error. Acha, it was like that. It should be of code. And the code should be integer. Then your empty, then case for your API error fail, API error with your error message of string, and then your case for decoding error. Then we have our var error description string. Okay, you can have switch bad URL, you can have bad URL. Okay, let's have enter so it looks better. Invalid response, then we can have wait this. Status code, API error, wait, remove this, let's let not required. Okay, empty, API error should have let us message. And left with one more case as case of dot decoder. Not able to decode the value, decoding error. Okay, now you can have this status code error, then server error, Instead of that, we will have a response API error. API error message is server. Error. This is invalid response, and after this we have our bad URL as our bad URL. Okay, now missing return. Okay, not a problem. Missing return, that we will take care after parsing of JSON. Here we will parse our JSON now. As now we validate our response successfully, if and check the data also. Everything is done. Now we will return, as data shouldn't be empty and everything has been checked now. So return t dot. Okay, t dot response. T has lot of things as it is a protocol, but we have to find which kind of response we are parsing in. So that's the reason we want T of response, which is nothing but our decodable type of response of T when we set up our JSON model, JSON model, while confirming a struct with this, you can say this endpoint. Now what we will have, we will throw we have network error dot decodable error. So now everything is done in our network layer. As our network layer is completed now we have to think of our mock services to confirm for our unit test cases. We have to design our mock services. So we'll create another class, command n mock network client. After that we'll create enter. Now your mocks network client, this is the class which will have final mock network client protocol confirmed. It will have error. Okay, this will add it, no problem. Then we will define our data first, where mock data should be of data, then where we will have our show fail. Yeah, you can name it as show fail, or you can name it as show throw. It's up to you, or whatever you wanna name it to. Then you have where error, that is of type error, which will have of endpoint network error with status code as 500. Okay, by default we set it as 500. Now we have to make our initializers for our mock services for our data. So we will create an initializer of it as init, and that will have, okay, fine, mock services as null. By default it will be as false, and error needs to be removed, and then we will set that data as self mock data and fail as self.fail. Here now, if there is a failure, if the mock data is failing, there is a case of failure, you are not able to hit the API successfully, then you will have if fail, then you are just returning the error. If everything went well, things are working fine, then you are having a network, you hit the API successfully, then you will have a guard of let of data that will be of your mock data, and then you will have a throw this throw will have your network error dot empty data if there is no data, and if data is there in data, then you will have do catch will have your throw of not able to parse the data, network error dot decodable. Okay, otherwise you have to parse the data and return t.response.data. So we are able to create our endpoint. Here you have to add your own endpoint at the end. I will add your own endpoint API key from IMDb. You can generate your you have log in with your credentials. You will get your you can create and get your API key from there, and then you have to copy paste here. Currently I am showing the default key. I will add my own key which I get from my credential. These two are my URLs, base URL for our image and for my APIs, and then this is an endpoint for handling a protocol for handling the method, path, and query parameters. This is my mock service. This is my uh, this is my networking when I am hitting the API. I will again explain you. First of all, uh, I'm converting my JSON decodable to convert that from snake cases. So underscores and all will be not treated here. In URL component, I am adding my base URL with the path. Then in query parameter, I am adding my API key in it, and then it's mm, after adding that, then I am making it with URL. After converting an URL, I am passing this URL to my URL request. After having this URL request, I am hitting the URL.session.data. Here we will get our data and response, then validating while passing our data and response to it. If the response is between 200 to 300, then we are able to then we are good to go. Otherwise, we are handling the situations on the basis of that. We are throwing the errors, and from there, if there is no data in godlet, if data is there, or if there is no data in else statement, then we are showing this empty data. After that, after checking all those things, then we are just passing our data to t.response. And if the passing didn't happen well, means there is something while decoding this uh, JSON. And these are my error handlings, where I am handling my error. And this is my protocol. With the help of this, we are maintaining our both mock services and our network layer. So if you like this video, please hit a thumbs up and support me so that I can bring the relevant project level wise approach how to design and do the network layer. In upcoming videos, we will design our Swift data for whatever the models we created. We will store it in our local, and from there we will show, and then we will create our Swift data layer here, and we will show to our API. So, so that's is there in this project. In upcoming videos, I will add I will add things in this project, and then I will show you the entire project. Till then, stay with me, and if you like, please do support me. Thanks, and have a nice day. Cheers.